For those out here, I am a strong believer that you're here not by chance, but ordained to be here. I believe it with everything in me. I don't get caught up in numbers. I don't care about who shows up and who doesn't. I'm just grateful for who does. Right? So let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Kenya, for those that don't know me, Kenya. And raised in St. Pete. Not born in St. Pete, but raised in St. Pete. I've been in St. Pete all my life. And about 12 years ago, God spoke to me about Next Level Business. 2012, spoke to me about Next Level Business Network. And it was birthed 2012. 2013, I put it on the shelf, really forgot about it, like totally forgot about it. I've been doing events and networking, and this is how I met this amazing lady here. Events and networking since 2004. Really, you know, guys, when I go back and think about it, all my life. All my life. Let me tell you real quick, I gotta share this with you because it may help somebody, I don't know. But when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and God took me back and showed me this because I didn't know. Like, I just embraced this thing about entrepreneurship. Like, it's like, look, I'm an entrepreneur, accept it. It's who I am, okay? And I struggled with that because I had good jobs. I don't quit jobs, but I've never been content. I say I'm allergic to bosses. I'm allergic to people telling me what time to be to work, what time to get off. No, you've reached the cap. You can't even get an increase no more. But I'm doing more work, but I can't get, okay. So that's always been a struggle for me, but I didn't understand it. I didn't know why. I just know I didn't like working for other people. And then this amazing thing happened to me about maybe 4 years ago, where I was introduced to multi-level marketing. Now, I always thought those people was crazy. They went out and, you know, what they call pyramids, build pyramids. And I wanted no parts of it, but I can tell you that once I started that journey in 2015, it changed my life. Like, I'm a lover of the Lord Jesus Christ. You hear what I'm saying? Been running with him a long time. He my everything, y'all. This ain't no speech here. Like, he my everything. Like, if you got a man, then you probably wake up thinking about your man, go to bed thinking about your man. I don't have no man. He my man. So he give me butterflies. You know, we ride down the road together. We rapping. We talking. I'm talking about Jesus. You understand? So, and so he did an amazing thing. He brought a company across my path that just shifted my life and taught me about personal development. And so he started introducing me to me. 2012, he tapped me on my shoulder. He said, "Do you know who you are?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "No, you don't. Let me show you." So since 2012, he's been showing me, teaching me, bringing people across my path to help me understand who I was created to be. So I've embraced this entrepreneur thing, y'all. I've gone to school, it took me some classes, and it's who I am. When I was about 3 or 4 years old, God showed me this. I was sitting on my beginning, you wouldn't know beginnings, but sitting on my aunt's sidewalk. And I was trying to sell berries. I was 4 years old. God took me back. This is when he sealed it and made me okay with being who I was. Showed me sitting on her side, and I remembered it once he showed it to me. I would get these berries off my beginning side of her house, off the tree. I don't even know if the berries could eat. I never ate one. But I would pull them off, put them in the bowl, and sit on the sidewalk and try to sell them to the people. I had a little piece of paper with the amount wrote on, and people would walk by. And when he showed me, I remember he said, "You think you just came up with these things? This you." So I've been on numerous adventures. I'll step out and start some, y'all. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. Most people have always thought I was crazy, but I don't know. I just always had this thing, but I didn't understand it. So now I do. And so Next Level Business Network was birthed. And the vision of it is to bring people, business owners, entrepreneurs together, one room, and bring in people that can impart and speak into our lives. Because once I realized who I was, I didn't have that. And the people that I wanted to go see cost a lot of money. pay, go see them and sit in these, and I plan on doing those kind of things, but I wanted to be able to solve that problem, because it was a problem for me not to be able to get in front of other people who had information that I needed. And it didn't cost me rent to do it, or condo to do it. And so that's where it comes from. So that's my vision, to bring business owners, entrepreneurs together, one room, and bring in people like Mr. Price and get it popping, y'all. Like, give us some information, help us shift, help us go to the next level, you know what I'm saying? And so I think we need that. I think that there are a lot of young people out in the streets, on the corners and all of that, and they're entrepreneurs, and they don't know it. They don't know it, because you don't get that in school. So I'm gonna shut up, because Mr. Charles got a lot of information for us, so I'm gonna move out the way and bring him. I've known this man, Jesus, a long time, y'all. Like, I ain't just been here. We go way, 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 way back. We done clubbed, we done churched. We like brothers and sisters. I know he loved the Lord, and we friends. We've been friends a long time. I admire him. I respect him. I know he's a man of integrity and character. And so I was honored when he accepted my invitation to come and be my guest speaker to impart. So without further ado, y'all please give Mr. Price a hand. All right.
Y'all just give me about 15 minutes. But I need to add a visual or something. He said good word. Good word. She used the word shift. The one thing about the word shift, I think that's a great mindset to have when you get ready to go into any type of impartation. Anytime somebody get ready to transfer, speak something, give you direction, workshop, anything, I think you should go with the mindset that you're looking for a shift. Too many times we go to certain things and we look for gifts. We go see certain singers because of their gift. And I ain't talking about church, I'm talking about R. Kelly, anybody. You go because of the gift. We go to certain speaking events because of the person's gift. And too many times that we go sit up under people talking and things never shift in our life. So add the visual with it. That's what people think. We've been so mistaught, misled, and hoodwinked that when we think of the word shift, we think of like, when we say like, especially I heard it so many times in church, when we say like things get ready to shift, we think that when something get ready to shift means that things for the change from the time I hit that door.
Come on.
We say, well, yeah, God is shifting in my life. Things are shifting in my life. And we think that means things are going to be different. But let me tell you what a shift is. What do you see? Be honest with what do you see? Now what do you see? Shift. All the shift is mean when you get through listening to what you're listening to and witnessing what you witness, that means you just see something different. That's all the shift.
My God.
Many people been lost because they think a shift mean everything changed. Nothing changed but what you see.
My God.
And we call that, when you get into the speaking world, they call that paradigms. Paradigms is your perspective. So a paradigm shift. So when I say you come with the mindset to be shifted, that means you come with the mindset to change your thinking. You should hear something that calls you to evaluate yourself. You should hear something that calls you to reevaluate your business, to reevaluate your goals, your dreams. That's a true shift. Because you got to keep in mind now, a lot of our values that we have, we developed them based on the things we encountered as we grew up. Perfect example. When I was growing up, my parents taught me that the white man won't give you nothing. In the 70s, that's what it was. White man ain't gonna give you nothing. You better do your work, better stop putting up in school. Why? Because the white man ain't gonna give you nothing. But I'm 42 years old. You know what I tell you? Black man ain't gave me nothing. Every job I had, I worked for the white man. You know what I'm saying? So what it is we have to begin to readjust the things that we've been taught, the value system that we developed, and that's what it is to have a shift. But I want you to keep that in mind. You got to keep that in mind, because as we talk about next level business network, as we talk about going to the next level, you got to adjust your thinking. Now your thinking was good for where you're at, but your thinking got to change for where you want to go. All right? Now listen. Before we talk about going to the next level, me and Asha was having a conversation about something. And I think it's important, and I was sharing this with her. She was kind of writing some notes for me, she tried to determine what I'm going to say. But I think it's important. I call it your weight, your W-A-Y, your weight. Who are you? You know, too many people start businesses, and they don't even know who they are. They don't know who they are. Kenya started and told you that she's an entrepreneur. She said she knew that she was a little girl. But you know what? There are a lot of people say they're entrepreneurs and they're not. They don't even know what an entrepreneur is, and they don't even know who they are. So what happens is when you try to build your business based on something that's uncertain and unknown, you got to have the business with no foundation. Entrepreneur is a person who takes risks, right? Person who starts to open up a hair store, stuff like that. People who put profit up, money up, capital up, and there's a risk at them losing. Entrepreneurs take risks. That's too many people who start businesses that don't take a risk. They do something safe. You're not an entrepreneur. So the first thing you gotta understand, you gotta know who you are. And we was talking about this because it's important, because your business should be a reflection of who you are. Because one thing you gotta have what? Business identity. In order for somebody to know what your business is about, in order for somebody to know who your business is, your business has to have an identity. And that identity is a reflection of who you are. So to start a business without doing any searching on the inside, without finding and honing in on what's your gift, without connecting and tapping into what's your purpose, you're starting a business with no foundation. And I ain't talking about money, I ain't talking about dreams, I ain't talking about vision boards, all that's needed in the process. But the most important thing, because you're talking about whatever you got going on, you're talking about taking it to another level, is that you first need to know who you are. You need to know, are you a person that's just chasing money? Are you a hustler? Are you a businessman? You know, and you hear it all the time. I come out the street and I might say a little something about where I come from, but we always tell people that used to sell crack, we say you'll make the best businessman. Because you're already a businessman. Because you've been selling crack, it's the same principle. You got a different problem. I disagree with that. Because a crack dealer is a hustler. Yeah. And now, when you think about hustle, when we used to say terms like you've been hustled, that's negative or positive. That's a negative term. You know what a hustler do? A hustler chase the bag. That's what a hustler do. And when you chase a bag, you end up with what? A lot of one-time hits. You meet people, you come up, boom. You meet people, you come up, boom. But you're not taking the time to build and establish anything. Now a hustler, he chase the bag, one-time hits, get a little couple dollars out you, and move out his business. A businessman, he builds a relationship, and he establishes something, and he creates opportunities. And opportunities last for a lifetime. Perfect example, a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I was invited to this church, Genesis Worship Center. They wanted me to do a book presentation to their men's group. So I went and did a book presentation to their men's group, and I brought books. I didn't do the whole team setup because it was kind of more a little different setting. But I did this for a reason, for what I'm talking about. I brought books, and when I got there, I wasn't getting paid to speak, and I gave the books away. Like, didn't sell them, do the same thing to them. If I want a book, I sign them and give you a book. But I went to this place to speak, and I gave the books away. Now, if I'd have been hustling, I got there and counted the room and said, look, 15 people here.
Make it play.
Make it about $150. I told them, hey, the book's going for $15 a piece, but if as a group, y'all come together, y'all come with $150, I give everybody a book and sign it. That's hustling. So I may come there and I may sell a book and I leave, but I haven't built anything. But the mere fact that I came there, I imparted some information, I spent some time with them, and I gave. You know what happened? The next time they see me do something, they gonna check me out. When I start to make some posts and I start advertising stuff, they gonna check me out. Because I came into their life giving, not taking.
Right.
But that's because I know who I am. That's because I know my business. That's because I know my purpose. So I understand that even though now you create businesses to make profit, don't get me wrong, but I don't just do this for free everywhere. But I understand that as a businessman, that the principle is give, then take. Because you know, like anything, if you're trying to make a sale, the first thing you gotta do is get in somebody's house. Now if you can get from the front door in the house, you can make a sale. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff going on. But one thing I want to leave with, I wanted you to make sure whatever you got going on, whatever you plan to do, if you haven't started before you get started, soul search and see who you are. Because you need to know, are you just about profit or are you about purpose and profit? There's a difference. When you're about purpose, let me tell you what purpose does. When you're about purpose, purpose has a magnetic draw to it. See, when your business is about purpose, is about beyond just making money, it draws people, it draws connection, it draws relationship. Why? Because people love free stuff and people love people who do things for them in spite of and not asking for money. So when you operate your business by the purpose, by the gift that you're connected to, the type of person that you are, it brings people into your life that's gonna open up doors to create opportunities. But when you just doing your thing, it's all about money, and that's good. That's good. If you're doing what you're doing just to make some money and pay your bills, that's cool. That's what business is for. But get ready for a bunch of one-time hits. And it's impossible to go to the next level with one-time hits. Because you can't do anything by yourself. Don't get it twisted. Man, Oscar Photography said you can't make a baby by yourself. You can't get married by yourself. You need somebody for everything. You understand what I'm saying? You need somebody from everything. So now we're talking about shift. Now we're talking about a paradigm shift. So okay, I'm not just doing this thing to make money. Because if I want to get to the next level, I gotta attach my business to my identity, to my purpose, to my calling. When I was a little boy, I used to be real intrigued by airplanes. Real intrigued because I was so fascinated that something so big can lift off the ground and stay in the air and go higher and higher. Simple. Even now to this day, I'm still amazed. And what I used to think, because if you ever hear a little boy playing on the airplane, when he's rolling on the ground, when he get ready to take off, you hear him make an engine noise. You know, we associate with the airplane taking off to the engine going. That's what we used to do. We wobble the plane like this, tilt it, but we're going just to get it to take off. And I used to think that the airplane came off the ground because of the engine. I thought when you look at the engine, it makes a loud noise. The engine has fire coming out of it. And so I used to think, hey, the airplane is leaving the ground because of the engine. And then when I got ready to do this event, and I thought about going to the next level, meaning ascending to different heights and different levels of whatever you're doing, I did some study on the airplane. And I found out after 37 years, I was completely wrong. The engine has absolutely nothing to do with the airplane leaving the ground. Absolutely nothing to do. What the engine does, when they fire the engine up, the engine causes the airplane to move forward. You understand? The engine's only job is to make the airplane move forward. Now, as the airplane moves forward, there's a different process that takes place, which causes the engine to come off the ground. So now when you start thinking, I'm gonna get back to it, we start thinking about business, and you start thinking about engines, you start thinking about taking your life to the next level. And if I had to get you to do like a quick retrospective of your life, what are some things in your life that cause you to move forward? What are some things in your business that cause you to move forward? Dreams. People have a dream and they start moving them. They're moving forward progress. People have a vision board. They put things on their vision board. They wake up every morning, look at their vision board every morning, and it motivates them, and it inspires them. They get out and they go try to get things done. They're moving forward. Capital, money, that'll cause you to move forward. Great plans, strategies, coaches, all that kind of stuff will cause you to move forward. But listen, and I know we're big on this thing when we talk about you gotta have a vision, you gotta have an objective, you gotta have goals, you gotta have dreams. All those are engines. Now you can have a vision, you can have a dream, you can have money, you can have a coach, but the only thing you're gonna do is move forward. Because an engine is not designed to get you off the ground. So shift. Here we go again. Stop thinking that great business plan you got, gonna take you to the next level. Because it's not. I know we used to go into, hearing people speak about entrepreneurship and they boost us, telling you good, you're in position, do this, write this down, put this on your board, put this on the post note and all that, and you'll see things take off, but I'm gonna move forward. You ain't gonna never leave the ground because engines are not designed to lift you off the ground. But this will happen. As the engine is fired up and the airplane is moving forward and the wings are tilted, the wind, the air, as it flies into the air splits the wing. So as the air splits the wing, the air that goes on top of the wing creates a very low pressure, which creates least resistance. Now I sound like I know what to talk about. I said, hey, so as I studied this, I got it now. As the air splits the wing and creates low pressure on the top and least resistance, the air that splits under the wing creates a high pressure and produces greater resistance. So as the plane is moving and the air is splitting the wings, you got low pressure on the top, you got high pressure on the bottom. So as a result of the higher pressure being on the bottom, it causes the plane to lift up. So it has nothing to do with the motor, the engine while you're lifting. The engine causes you to make progress and move into the wind. But as the wind begins to build the pressure under the wings, it causes the plane to catch lift. Real key. Did you hear the first thing I said? The plane is not lifted because of the engine. It is the pressure that is created as a result of the progress of the plane. That's it right there. I really want you to think about it. Because you got to be careful. My mom say all the time, you got to be careful what you pray for. Because God will give you something. And we get on our knees, we say, God, please take my business to the next level. I want 100,000 this year, 150,000 next year. But when you catch a lift, it's because of the pressure that is created because of the progress of the plane. Now, what are you saying? I'm saying when you got that great vision, and you got that great dream, and you got that great business plan, and you got that money behind you, and you got this, and you got this, and you got this, and you start making progress, and you start saying, Lord, take me to the next level, you are asking for pressure. Pressure. See, many people think the great idea is going to take them up. I don't care how creative you are. The great ideas don't take you up. Pressure makes you catch a lift. So now listen, all right. We about to finish. You got the plane, right? You got the engine rolling. You're making progress. As the pressure begins to build, it begins to lift the plane, all right? So now, okay, now you're doing good. You ask God to give you this. You ask God to do this. As the pressure comes, you took the pressure. You dealt with the pressure. You didn't break, you didn't retreat, you didn't quit, you didn't run back. You kept going. So as you begin to catch flight, now the pilot has the responsibility. Now this is why I got to really deal with this, but I know we all don't been here in our life. Now the pilot has the responsibility to tilt the nose of the plane up. Because what happens now, as the plane begins to take flight, and it hits a certain level in the sky, he then has to lift and tilt the nose just a little bit so the plane wings can tilt, and the pressure can be built, and the plane will continue to go from level to level to level. So to go from level to level to level, the pressure has to constantly be increased. But now watch this. When the airplane is seeking to travel from level to level, if the pilot tilts the nose too much or too fast, the airplane falls into what is called a stall. Not an engine stall, but a lift stall. So when the airplane falls into a lift stall, that means the airplane can't go any higher. It's stuck at the level that it's in. And if it doesn't come out of the lift stall phase fast enough, it'll fall out the sky like a rock. Yeah. Because he tried to do too much, too fast. And when he tilted that nose too much, too fast, he stalled. You ever wonder why sometimes you try certain things in your life? You try to develop yourself, you try to push your business, you try to reach out, and it seemed like you had a little forward momentum, it seemed like you had a little progress, then you looked up and you really pointed and you stalled, and the thing that you was doing, it died, it no longer existed, people were no longer attracted to it, you stalled. You did too much, too fast. I go back to the beginning, what's your weight? Who are you? If you go into business, you need to know who you are. Because knowing who you are, you know the pressure you can stand, and it'll prevent you from doing stuff too fast and too often. Listen, so we understand the engine give you progress. Engine, dreams, visions, goals, capital, support, prayer, make you go forward. The pressure causes you to elevate. And as you hit a certain level, you have to tilt a little bit, and you continue to go level to level. But understand this by the plane. You talk about going to the next level. Before you can go to the next level, you got to max out the current level. Yeah. What the pilot does, there's an automatic gauge inside. And what the pilot does is as he hit 5,000 feet, he has to stay at 5,000 feet until he reaches a certain, I forget the word, he reaches a certain something, and then he can then tilt the nose and he can transfer and enter another atmospheric level. But he can't just go from 5,000 to 25,000 like that. He goes from 5,000 feet to 6,000 feet to 7,000 feet to 8,000 feet. He maxes out the level before he's allowed to enter into the next level. I know you want to go up. I know you want more. I know you want to go from 50,000 to 150,000. My question is, have you maxed out your level?
My God. All right.
Have you maxed out your level? You say, okay, well, how do I know if I maxed out my level? Let me tell you something. Destiny and people are always the best indication of what's going on. Listen, when this city find out, because a lot of people know I've been all around the city and everything, but a lot of people I know find out that I wrote a book, that I authored a book, they were completely blown away. They were wild. They were like, you wrote a book? You wrote a book? You wrote a book?
Come on.
And I'm like, yeah, I wrote a book. Because I found out who I was.
Come on.
And I tapped into some gifts, and I tapped into some purpose. And then I wrote a book, and I built a business. Because I knew who I was. But listen, when you're in the right place at the right time, and you're doing the right thing, people will be wild at what you're doing. Pause. If you're doing something, ain't nobody shocked, you ain't tapped in yet. And because you ain't tapped in, you ain't gonna even leave the ground. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. When you're doing something and nobody's amazed or wild at what you're doing, you ain't tapped in yet. You might well stop praying to go to a new level and say, Lord, help me to tap in and max out where I'm at. Number one indicator. You gotta pay attention to detail. Pay attention to the people around you. People will let you know when you're on the right track. And I tell you one more time, because now you got to go home, you got to reassess your life, you got to reassess your business, you got to reassess your actions and what you're doing. And then you say, you know what? Who's amazed at what I'm doing? Who's amazed? If nobody's amazed, you might need to get in your closet and search within yourself and find out if you're doing the right thing. Because I said it from the beginning, everybody in the entrepreneur. Some people want to be a businessman, they just team players. You need to know who you are. Because if you're a team player, you'll go higher as a team player than you would having your own business. Some people give us opportunity for being a vice president at another corporation making $300,000 a year, so they want to open a flower shop and make $18,000 a year. Because they want to be their own boss. But you got to know who you are. Remember, everybody say boom. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end with this boom. Boom, we all know about sudden boom. That's when something travels at a certain speed and it breaks a certain atmospheric pressure. Boom makes a boom and keep going. Travel faster than the speed of light. But there's a boom that I want to talk about that you gotta have. You're talking about going to the next level. Because now you listen to everything. We don't brought this next level thing. I don't brought all the way to your gift and your purpose and who you are. Because when we think of business, we think it's something aside from who we are. And people who don't understand that their business is them, that's why they never succeed. So a boom, what's a boom? Boom is this. There has to be a moment. There has to be an experience. I'm gonna search and find it. There has to be a moment. There has to be an experience in your life where you become internally tuned. Yeah, on the inside. Tuned. You know, like if anybody here play instruments in here? Okay, everybody like me. We grew up in the same neighborhood. Listen, none of us play instruments, but trust me, I know what to talk about. Anybody who plays an instrument, before they perform or before they do anything, when they buy an instrument, they have to take it, they have to get the instrument tuned. Okay, when something, guitars and horns, when something is tuned, that means it's developed and it's put in a position for its maximum use. Okay, it has to be adjusted for its maximum use. Because the way it was made, it's not good enough to function at its maximum use. Follow this, okay? Because I know we think we built for it. You know, we think the way we made and that we already ready to do it. Listen, I'm telling you, when you buy an instrument and you finna put this thing to work and you finna be successful as an entertainer or whatever, you gotta get that thing tuned. You gotta get it adjusted for maximum use. You've been adjusting. You know why you gotta get adjusted? Because when you're talking about going to the next level, the competition changes. When you get to that next level, it's people who've been doing it longer than you. It's people who've been working on themselves longer. It's people who got more connections than you got. So you know what? To stand out and to do your thing, you got to operate at a maximum level. So you're gonna have to be adjusted. Boom. There comes a time when you have to be internally tuned. There comes a time when something on the inside of you has to be adjusted so you can operate in your full capacity. Because listen, you were born with what you needed. That's like people say, you know the word potential? And they say, oh, he got potential, you know what I mean? I mean, he can get it done. He ain't got it yet. Yeah, we all got potential. We all can do it, but we don't have it yet. Because we have to be internally tuned. Something on the inside, that thing we got, that thing that God gave us, that thing that your higher power gave you, what we was created to do business with, to excel with, to make this and make that and get more with,
that thing has to be adjusted. It has to come into alignment with the reason that you got it. Let me tell you about my boom. 1995. I'm gonna close with this. I don't know if it's
No, you ain't.
1995. Me and my homeboy, we used to hang on 28th Street, 18th Avenue. So between 28th Street, 18th Avenue to 31st, from the street to the alley, we used to hang out all night selling. We had all night selling. So one particular night, this is 1995. One particular night, we got to selling dude. This guy come, he wants some dope, but he ain't got no money. So I'm like, you know me, I'm always one running my mouth. I'm like, well, rent me the car. You know, y'all might not know what that is. Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. You know, rent me the car, I give you some dope. Cool. So I get the car at 6, and I supposed to have the car back to him at 10. So I get him some dope, boom, he going by this business. So me and my homeboy, we ride around, I'm talking about a boom. I'm talking about when I got internally tuned, which allowed me to do this kind of stuff here and to move from different levels. So we, me and my dog riding, we riding, smoking, drinking, we got one pistol in the car. I ain't gonna go for it. We ain't got pistols, one pistol in the car, probably a little raggedy 22 or something. So we ride around the city just smoking, no license. Just riding this man car up and down 18, Child's Park, Arthur Park, Jordan Park, Lakewood State, just riding and smoking. So I gotta have the car back at 10, and it's like 9:30. So I tell my dog, I say, hey man, look, I gotta take the man the car back. I'm gonna drop you off and I'll be back to the block later. Cool. I drop him off. So I'm headed to take the man his car back. My homeboy Dre called. He was like, what you doing? I said, man, I'm gonna take this car back. He like, real quick, man, let's go get something to eat. Now it's about 9:40, I gotta have the car back at 10. I figured, I said, dude, he do drugs, he gonna do what I say. You know, so I go pick Dre up. Dre, where you wanna get something to eat from? Man, let's go to Chili's. Now it's 9:55. So we go to Chili's by the mall. I listen to the story now. This one 80-20. We go to Chili's by the mall. We get in there about 10:20. We smoking on the way there, so we taking a long route, close to 10:30. So we get in there, we order food, we high, we've been drinking, so we ordering all kind of stuff. By the time we look at it, it's like 11:30. Now that's when we had beepers. So my beeper was still in the car. So it's like 11:30, we getting ready to shut Chili's down. We come out, get in the car, got my beeper on the visor. And when I pull the visor down, the man don't beep me like 15 times. 15 times. So boom, jump in the car, get ready to drop Dre off. Now Dre say, man, let's get some weed real quick. Boom, explain about weed, man, how get some weed, smoke one more, I drop Dre off. After I drop Dre off, I'm coming out 18th Avenue, I'm gonna take the man's car. I'm coming out 18th and the police car is coming the other way. So as we pass each other, right in front of the old Busy Bee Car Wash, if y'all from here, y'all know Busy Bee Car Wash. I look at my rearview mirror and the police make a U-turn. So he made a U-turn, I know what time it is, it's on. I got reef in the car, I got a little raggedy 22 or 25, whatever I had in the car, I got dope in the car, so I flush driving real fast. Flush. So I flush it. So the police come behind me. True story, no lie, my story. Police come behind me. I'm flushing. I go down to Auburn Street, make a right on Auburn Street. You know the area, you see, and I hit it quick right in the alley. So now I'm coming down the alley doing like 70 miles per hour, headed toward Busy Bee. Now my auntie stay on 28th Street, right behind the car wash. So in my mind, I'm saying, I'm gonna get to my auntie house, pull up in the driveway, I'm gonna hop out the door, run through the side, I'm gonna hit the fence, hit the cut, and I'll be back on 31st in the back before anybody even knows. So now my adrenaline flowing. I'm running from the police. My heart beating fast, so I'm in a frenzy. So I'm boom, going through that, boom. So when I make the left turn, and I make the right turn to get to my auntie yard, I'm moving so fast that I'm trying to get out the car without taking my foot off the brake and put it in park. Now I got automatic locks, so you know if the car still ain't gear, the door is still locked. You gotta put it in park and the locks will flip. So now I'm trying to, it's in neutral. I'm trying to get the door out instead of just flipping the lock. By the time I fumble around with the door, trying to get everything out, police at the window. Get me out the car. Boom. So I get out the car. Now my auntie, she's like 90 now. So my auntie was like 70, and it's like my mama auntie, so my great auntie. So she come outside, so the police get me out, put me in the car. So I'm sitting in the car, and I said another cruiser pull up, and then out the back seat, the man get out who car it is. So the man come up, and he look at me, shake his head, yeah, go. So they take me to jail. So I said, man, what am I going to jail for? Man said, but they got the dope out the car. They didn't find the pistol was down in the seat. They got the dope out the car. The man said, you're going to jail for possession of crack cocaine and carjack. Now from the story, y'all know I ain't carjack. I rented the car, kept the car. Boom, going to jail, let me wrap this up. I go to jail, I'm in maximum security, waiting to go to court. Internal tuning, my boom. I'm in maximum security, ready to go to court. They called my name one morning, roll me up. So now, I roll up, I know I ain't going out, my mama ain't coming to get me. I ain't got no money. I'm just hustling on the corner. I'm hustling, I ain't no business, man. I ain't got no money. So they roll me up and they send me across the street. And maximum you wear blue. When you go across the street, you wear orange, which is a medium security. So normally when people get counter time, most of them move over there. So first of all, that was weird. Because I hadn't even went to court yet, so I shouldn't have been getting moved. But I said, well, maybe, you know, they doing this because it's overcrowded, need to put some rapists and murders in here and all that kind of stuff there. So I get to the other side. And when I get in the part after a couple days, I noticed that up, it was 2 levels. Up there in the very corner, I used to see a lot of guys go there every evening, one-on-one. Boom, boom. So we sitting down watching TV. I asked a guy one day, I said, why everybody keep going up there? What's going on up there? They said, oh, that's Reverend James up there. It was a preacher, but he had a bad drug problem. He kept stealing. So he was in and out of jail, in and out of prison. So he said, they go there, they have Bible study. He said, everybody that have Bible study with Reverend James, they get out when they go to court. Not me, I'm a hustler, I'm criminal minded. I ain't thinking nothing about no law, I'm criminal minded. I want to get out. I go there and introduce myself to Mr. James one day, he tell me to come out that evening. So I go back in, I gotta get it, just graphic. I go back in with Mr. James that evening. And on 2 pieces of paper, he had 2 hands, like he traced his hand. And one of them had like murder, lust, fornication, adultery. One of them was full of sin. The other one was like joy, peace, righteousness. And it was all good stuff. So he said, this is the life that you live. This is the life that God wants you to live. All he said. All he said. He said, young man, go over and see tomorrow. I was so impacted by those 2 drawings that when I got back to my cell, I got a piece of paper, drew the hands, woke my roommate up, and said, this is the life God wants you to live. This is the life you live. Just like that. Just a brief drawing. I'm talking about your internal tuning. I immediately, the first thing I saw, I went back to my cell and tried to teach the person who was sleeping with me. Didn't even know what I was talking about. Went back the next day, went for about 2 weeks. End up, one day the man asked me, he said, man, you know the thing about Jesus? I ain't go to church, I ain't really know about Jesus. Man talked about Jesus, all the Christ I took him, boom. Boom, you heard me say, boom, I accepted Christ. Called my mama on the phone. My mama said, boy, I hear something different in you. I hear a light in you. Something happening there. I said, yeah, mama, I gave my life to Christ. Talked to my brother. My brother said, man, I was in church today. He said, and the preacher was preaching, and the preacher said, as a young man need to be here, but he can't be here because of some circumstance. But he said, boy, I feel like he was talking about you. When you get out of jail, you go to church? I go to church. I said, bro, what church you go to? He said, we go to Mount Zion Progressive. Pastor Gary. He said, but you remember Chico there. I said, cool, yeah. So I get out. I'm not giving my life to Christ. I get out. I go to the church. Chico preaching. Now I just got out of jail, and Chico's sermon is having your hallelujahs locked up. And he preached when Paul and Silas was in prison, and they sang and prayed, and the doors opened up. So you already know, I just got out of jail. Boom. I'm walking to the front of the church now. I already gave my life, but now I got to join that. Everything happened so fast. But what I don't know is that I'm being adjusted.
That's right.
For maximum use.
That's right.
So long story short, I went in there, boom, I started going to the church, all that kind of stuff there. Got into class, ended up doing ministry, all that kind of stuff there. But it all happened from an event and an experience in my life. So what I want you to understand, because I talked about you being adjusted for maximum use, there's nothing that you do on your own. There's nothing that you make happen. When it's time, it's time. I didn't make that happen. I didn't make the police come out to me, take me to jail. I didn't make them move me to the other side of the jail. But it was time for me to be adjusted because God knew what He was getting ready to do, and He knew the levels that He was getting ready to take me to. And there was no way I could come from dealing crack to selling books to opening a business. I had to be adjusted. Now my question to you is, where do you need to be adjusted? Do you know who you are? If you don't know who you are, that's your first adjustment. What gift do you have? What talent do you have? If you don't know that, you need to be adjusted. But you can't make it happen. When it's time, it's time. Keep living. Keep moving forward. And before you know it, boom. Don't run from it. Boom. Don't run from it. Boom. And when you get that boom, it's time to go. I'm going to leave you with this. One thing that had to happen after the boom is yours, because you wrote that. One thing that had to happen after the boom, and I ain't going to go too further into this, but there's a certain type of character that has to be developed or either controlled, and it's called intentional behavior. Yeah. When you get the boom and you're ready to go to the next level, you have to start being intentional with the things you do. All this is intentional behavior.
That's right.
So now I ask you this, and I'm gonna leave you with this. This is my closing. When you look at your life, what are you intentionally doing? You look at some people's life, they're intentionally trying to be broke. You looking at some married people's life, they intentionally trying to get divorced. You look at some people's life, they intentionally trying to be great. They're intentionally trying to empower. What are you intentionally trying to do? You say you want to go to the next level, but your actions, your behavior, are you intentionally trying to go to the next level? Are you paying attention to your mind, the things you read, the things you take in your mind, the things that influence you? Are you paying attention to your health? How you take care of your body for the long run? Are you just a short game cat that you want to make something in 2 years? Are you thinking about 22 years down the line? What about your relationship? Your relationship with your higher power? Your relationship with yourself? Your relationship with your family, your kids, the people you work with? And then after all that comes your wealth, your money, and your business to the next level. So my question is, I know we want to go to the next level. I know I'm telling you to take the next step, but what are you intentionally trying to do? Because you can have a vision. All the vision do is tell me where you want to go. But your current shows me if you're going to get there. And my problem is we talk too much. We talk a lot about what we're going to do. But if I sat back and I watch you, could I see where you're trying to go without you telling me? Now some people you can look and say, well, that young man, that young lady going to be something. But they trying to be something. Can you say that about you? I mean, you want to go to the next level. But you got to max out. Thank you. Yeah, I got some books for you. Come on. If anybody want a book, anybody here, you want a book, I sign to give you a book. But listen, I say this all the time. Just because I'm offering a book, if you don't want it, don't get it. All right, if you want a book, you can come get it. Now I sign it for you.
Thank you. Information. My God. That was good. Come on, get your book. You want a book? You want a book? Do you want a book? If you want more.
I asked one thing. I ain't charging for the book, but I gotta get a picture with you with the book. All right.
If you want more, get more. Yes.
I don't move that fast.
Put it up there.
I mean, I ain't the smartest.
Also, I do coaching. Not just development, like just business coaching, just kind of personal development. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of help you look at some things you like. Oh yeah, I will. That'll work out. I ain't working. That's what I was saying. I don't chase the bag. That goes.
Some Kenny friends.
That's what we're saying.
Have we got to get you?
Nah, I'm just joking.
Old school. Ain't you mad?
Yeah, you know, I got the.
Glad you came, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to put. Also, that'll be me on Facebook, but I'm gonna continue to put stuff out there so people know when stuff going on.
Keep doing what you do, man. Real. I'll be to the next one, God willing.